hostile close.
Firing. Broken enemy shield.
One's cracked pretty hard.
Fence deployed.
Tagged him.
You're cracked.
Broken
I'm
enemy
down.
shield.
I'm gonna follow this wave.
I know some on the roof.
Arcs are out.
Cheers.
Reloading.
Reloading. That enemy shield is broken. Fini.
Enemy shield broken. Enemy down.
Recharging my shields.
There's a blue backpack in there if someone wants it.
Supplies coming in.
Out.
Recharging my shield.
Sounds like my mic is.
Was there any R99s or R301s on any of the dead bodies?
And there's an alternator right
Put
here.
it back up to full speed.
I already have one. I was just looking for R301.
Okay.
Thanks for that.
You got it. All right. Looks like things are working. Test 1 2. Test 1 2 3.
Sniper.
Dibs.
This here stream starting soon screen is going to be a bit of a placeholder. I think that going forward we'll use
There's a
this
care
space
package over there
to
if you wanna go
talk
to
about editing. My theory is that if I'm going to be putting in the time to do this, all the editing and stuff anyways, I might as well stream it, and hopefully that'll keep me like wedded to my desk doing some work. So for now, I think we're at a good place, and I'm gonna go ahead and
I've spotted an enemy.
let's see, switch off
Laser sight here. R301 here.
the. I'm gonna turn on the webcam.
New kill leader.
I'm
Watch
gonna
it.
turn on the display capture, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this here stream live. Let's go live with it. Welcome to the First Country Fried Minis live stream. Today we're gonna be working on the Textures with Edna video. I'm likely just to sit here and work on the video,
Shield.
show y'all a little bit about the editing and what goes into it,
I'm helping. Cover me.
and
Your support is there.
maybe talk about it a bit.
Oh, they're on me.
I also cracked.
So without further ado, let's
Eye of the storm.
see if this works. Cutting intro sequence. Transitioning. Looking all right. Looking all right. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and cut on our music. And real quick, I'm going to test if it's working. It should be. Maybe not. There it is. Fantastic. Okay. Welcome in, folks. Not a lot going on in here. I'm just going to be working on some Premiere right here. And actually, let's go ahead and for those of you unfamiliar, I'm going to close out of this maybe. And let's launch into Premiere. If I could type. Open up Premiere. So Premiere is the software that I use for all my video editing. Before I was using a piece of software called Shotcut, which is a great free alternative. Awesome. A fire truck going by. As is the case living downtown in San Francisco. Anyhow, I digress. Let's get Adobe up and running. Looks like here it is. So, see, I got a whole bunch of projects in here, and today we're going to be working on Textures with Edna. Now, it'll populate this list here, and if I zoom out, we can take a peek at what's going on here. Let me give that a moment to load up. Okay, so as of this point, my work is a little disjointed. Let's what did I just move? I just moved something that I don't want to move. Let's move the webcam. There we go. All right. Well, first let me apologize, folks. This is my first time running OBS. I did a little experimentation with it earlier, but I'm kind of very new to it. So as these go forward, I'll likely get a little better at it. So, so far I have a edited down sequence right here of kind of messing with the objects at hand. In this case, there are 7 total models. I've left points to know where I'm putting in the intro, where I'm going to add some talking head bits. I've cut down some sections of like putting together the models, what goes into that, mounting them onto sticks and doing the gluing, and I think that's what it is. Yeah, gluing, show off, and then some airbrushing. And that'll be like the intro for this video. From here, the video is about textures. So I'm going to talk about 5 quick and easy textures to make any of your projects look pretty good. So let me just run this little demo for you. Hopefully it'll work out. So each little bit is going to be a short like couple minute clip talking about what goes into making each of these textures, like which paints to use, what colors, how to mix them, how to achieve passable and quick results on your projects on really common textures. So in this case it's stone, and we're working on some bricks here and some like paver stones here and some little cobbles there. So even though they're all different colors, they'll it's all the same technique. So we'll talk about that. And looks like the next one is talking about cloth. So just again, some simple techniques to make your cloth look passable and all right. So gonna try and keep this one a little shorter than the other videos. I know I've been hitting the 30-minute mark with some of the videos as of late, so we're gonna try to avoid that going forward. But last thing I put together was this here bit about hair, which can be used on fur as well. I'll talk about it in the actual video, of course. And now it looks like I'm working on, if I scrub forward, we can see like a brown paint there, so that doesn't really tell me much. Okay, it looks like I am working on wood. Yes, wood is the next texture. So it's a really good example of this video is, let's see, 15 minutes 26 seconds to 20 minutes 25 seconds. So this is like a 5-minute clip, and that is just like really boring, right? So you don't want to spend 5 minutes watching me put paint on some planks of wood, right? It's really dry. There's nothing there. There's nothing exciting going on. So what I've done, or what I do, is cut these clips down and try and get some usable stuff out of it. All right, and I guess I'll tailor this for people who aren't necessarily savvy with Premiere. All right, the first step in putting this here thing together is gonna be adding my little overlays, and I have a nice PNG image that I put together from, oh, what's the website? techstudio.com. Actually, let me, I know I'm rambling, I'm all over the place, I don't mean to be, but let's go ahead and show off this techstudio.com. I went ahead and paid for a annual subscription here because I use them all the time, and I think it could potentially be worth it for your own applications. So this here website, there's a lot of stuff that's available for free, but you'll get your custom text downloaded in very low resolution. So all of these here that don't have the crown in the corner you can snag it. Let's look at this bolt here. So let's say we're streaming, right? So that looks pretty good. Usually I don't do them with the background, so I'll turn that off on the background, and then when you go to download, you can see that there's a normal resolution, right? And the fitted image format. So we'll go to PNG, and it'll show you right here. It's an 898 pixel by 238 pixel image, which is really small. It's not going to read super well on something like for streaming purposes or for videos. So I went ahead and paid for the annual subscription. That way I can download these in huge format. That's like a 4K image, right? It's 4500 by 1100. I think it's not quite 4K, something like that. But you end up with these images, and it's super nice resolution. So for me, in my case, as someone who's using it regularly, it's well worth the subscription to pick it up. So I could drop that brand new image into Premiere if I wanted, right? So let's slap it right here, and you can see it's huge, right? So we'll select this we're streaming image and shrink that scale down. Let's call it 30%, right? So I now have this image here that's over top of my video. And because I downloaded it as a PNG, it's got a nice transparency on the background, works really well. Super good stuff. And with that little explanation out of the way, I'll go ahead and show you this here. The one I'm actually using is this here texture wood image. And let's go ahead and I'll click over here to show you another one. I have this texture 3 hair image, right? And I want to copy the scale settings and the opacity right here, which is set to some keyframes, so it fades in and fades out. Not sure what's going on here at the end. Yeah, it looks all right. Okay. Let's take the motion and the opacity, and we're going to copy those. And I'll zip over here to this new one, and I'm going to paste it in. And now it's got the same settings. I'm going to keep this uniformity throughout what's going on here, right? It fades in and it fades out. Similarly, I have this thing that's happening with the background, the video itself, where it is doing a blur effect. And I want that blur tied in the same on all of them. So same deal, copy these, come over here, paste it in. And there's an extra keyframe here that helps me with the alignment, right? So right here at the start of the texture hair image, I can look here on the video clip below, and I can see it's lined up with that keyframe. So that's really just for an alignment. And I'm gonna do the same over here. So we'll jump to that keyframe, slide in this here guy, and we can see that it's overlapping. It's overlapping this whole like blend thing. Having a problem with the blur effect, because these two clips, this first clip is not long enough to put it where I need it to be. So let's go back in and cross-reference what's going on. I guess I shouldn't have. Oh man. I just realized I was moving my face around during some of those clips and I didn't hit the transition button. Which, whatever. It's not a big deal. Okay, so in that case where the clip is not lining up properly, I want to try and sort out where this Gaussian blur is supposed to line up. And it looks like it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames. 6 frames off. Let's see. 12, 24, and 14. If we jump forward to this, I can see it's 12, 24, and 20. Yeah, 6 frames. So that gives me a good point to know I can jump to this opacity keyframe and go into this new one right here, and I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames. Let's drop in a placeholder for the opacity there, and I'm going to throw in another blur effect. So I'll go into my effects. I'm going to search up blur. I'm going to grab this here Gaussian blur, and I'm going to drop it onto this clip. And because I want to match the other clip here, let's scroll back over to it. And I can see that this blurs out at 100, and then it's going to drop down. To 0. So go back over here. We'll set this one's default at 100. We'll jump to this keyframe. I'm going to slap a new keyframe that matches the start of the blurriness. So this keyframe right here has our blurriness marked at 100. Let's jump back over here and try to get an idea of how far apart these are. So this one is at 12, 24, 14. And we'll jump to this one, and it's 12, 26, 14. So it's exactly 2 seconds. And we can numerically jump to that, right? So I'm at 15, 28, and 10. So let's go ahead and change that 28 to 30. Bam, perfect. We can drop in a keyframe, set that blurriness to 0. And now we should have a similar effect when this plays through. Fade in, blurs up, blurs out. Should it blur out and fade at the same time? Is that correct? Fade in, fade out, blur out. There's a little bit of a gap between them. It should be. Right? No, I guess they're happening at the same time. I'm just dumb. Okay, so that little bit's done, right? So that just shows you what kind of work's going into putting these together. All right, so I'm still not really, honestly, I'm not really happy with what's going on here. I really want to show that paint and get the color. So I was wrong, and I'm gonna need to remove all these keyframes. All that I just disregard everything I just did. I'm so unhappy with it that we're changing some stuff around. Alright, so what I really need to do is see how long it takes to pull out the, let's just delete this Gaussian blur. Okay, so in the space of like 1 second, I'm pulling out that there paint, which means I need it to be about like right here. And one cheap trick I can do is to slow down this footage even further. I've already slowed it down once, but I'm going to go into, let me cover that. I'm going to select the clip I'm changing, go into clip, and I'm going to change the speed duration. And I've already got it at 4 seconds, so it's running at less than a quarter speed. Let's go ahead and drop it down to, let's call it 15. Add 2 seconds to it. That seems right. That seems right. That's gonna make redoing this bit a little tricky though, I think. Alright, so how far to the end of that is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 frames. 24 frames. There's something weird happening with this here opacity hang off. See if they're doing it here too. Yeah, there's something weird happening here. What is the length on this? Duration is 5 seconds and 15 frames. That might solve some of my issues here. Texture 3 hair is currently 5 minutes or 5 seconds, so it needs 15 more frames. What do you know? And now that opacity works. All right, so again, folks, I am all over the place. I'm kind of rambling here. I don't have a script here. We're just going with the workflow, right? Just trying to fill some dead space. And if any of you who are watching this find yourself curious as to what the channel's all about, if you've somehow found this and you don't know the channel, go ahead and go into our video feed and check out some of our offerings. We do all kinds of neat stuff, working on video projects and whatnot. Let's see, I'm checking out some levels right here. It seems a little off, maybe. So going back to the whole, if you're watching this, let me know if the music's a little high. If it is high, I can see the chat on the live replay, and that would help. Anyhow, digressing. We're gonna go back into this guy right here, and this goes from 12:24:14 to 12:26. It is 2 full seconds of the blur out. We'll see how much space we have to mess with this thing. Excuse me. dang it. I gotta line back up that blur out. That is one second and 10 frames. 1 second, 10 frames from the end of this. So to calculate that, we'll go to the end of this clip. We need to go 1 second, 10 frames. So subtracting 10 frames is going to put that at 25, and this is 28. And then 1 more second, I'll put it at 27. We now have the exact spot for it. Drop this guy in. And clink these together. And let's advance it 2 seconds. So the Gaussian blur needs to end here. It's going to span 2 videos. Now, how do we go about getting those to line up? Well, it's pretty simple actually. Let's go to the start of this clip, drop one here. We need to go to that keyframe. We'll drop a keyframe here and call this 0, right? So now there's a keyframe for this clip that's off to the edge, like beyond the clip. And we can sit back here and advance it frame by frame and see the rate at which it's going down. You can see the transition here. And we know at this point it is 43.3 on the blurriness. And that means we can apply a 43.3 to that, and it'll be focusing at the proper tilt. All right, let's give it a watch. Fades in, texture 4 fades in, texture 4 fades out, blurriness goes away. We see the flat earth. All right, not the fake flat earth. Let me just put that out there. No room for flat earthers in this world round. But we are talking about the flat earth, one of my favorite colors by Vallejo. Vallejo? I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, so I'll just say it how I say it. Okay. I think I'm going to keep just that much of this clip. Bam. And I've been doing this like zoom thing lately, which I like a lot. So let's go ahead and give that a little pecorino. We'll start a position and scale keyframe. I'm gonna go 5 frames forward. Let's have this zoom in 15%. Honestly, I'm really just making this up as I go. Another 5 frames, pop it down, zoom in another 15, putting us at 80. Adjust the position to keep this in the center of the frame. 5 more frames, pop, pop. We'll go another 15. Nice smooth transition there. Change position. Keep this right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more down. It's gonna put it at 110. Position the tip in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 125. Bring it up. 140. Hold. Hold. Still holding. And then we want to just zoom in like crazy. Call it 175. Call it 200. I'm getting a kick out of this. I think that's neat right there. Let's see what it looks like. Opens it up, zip. Okay. I dig it. So we got some flat earth on the palette. What's our time looking like here? So start of this segment is 15 minutes and 22 seconds to 15 minutes and 36 seconds. I've used, what's that, 14 seconds of my whole 3 minutes max I want to do on this wood scene. So I think let's go ahead and pull out this clip of putting water on it. Trim it, get rid of this and that. Now we just have this little clip. Alrighty, and then I want the paintbrush to come in the frame so we can get rid of that. And then this thing. Gonna mix it up. I don't know, something about the whole mixing up the paint palettes, something I really enjoy. Keep that clip. Alright, so far we're pulling out the paint, shaking it, dropping it, thinning it, mixing it. Can't really afford to mess around with any more paint there. Let's go ahead and show what we're doing with the paint. I think I'll trim it right there. Bring this paint onto frame. How long is this clip? 16 minutes 2 seconds. I'm painting on that for 2 whole minutes. I think I want to use this whole thing, but we need to speed it up. 2 minutes 21 seconds. I want to get that down to like 20 seconds. Yeah, call it 600%. It's a little long, I think, still. 650, 655, 670, 700, 705, 706, exactly 20 seconds. There we go. Bam, it's gonna go fast. Let's see what that looks like. All right. Cool. Oh goodness, jeez! I tried to mute my mic there. It didn't work. So it's a little stifled sneeze for y'all. It looks like I'm also going to be base coating up Miss Edna herself. So how about we take, oh, let's see what 5 seconds that looks like. Yeah, 5 seconds is the transition to the next model. We'll keep that regular speed. And then it looks like there's some base code going on. It should probably be a similar speed. Let's actually trim off that. Trim off this right here. Bow. Alright, so once again, showing you how to change the speed of a clip. Let's see, this clip is almost a minute, right? So we can go to clip and speed duration. Oh, almost 2 minutes. I am dumb. Let's call it 500%. 23 seconds, too long. Let's call it 600%. Let's call it, what's the same speed? We'll do 707, 708. Let's get it down to 15 seconds. 755, 60, 75, 775x speed. Bam. Got that, goes in. I'll keep the transition of setting the model down. And let's check our time again. 16:29, 15:22. That's about a minute and 7 seconds. So I want to keep this section, this texture, to like 3 minutes. So still got plenty of time there. Let's give it a zoom out and see what else we're working with. I got a new clip here. So I think what's going on here is a new color. Let's go ahead and shrink it down to the proper size. So for what it's worth, I make all my videos in 1080p. And I record all my footage in 4K. And that gives me a little play between with like the zoom, how much I can go in on a piece. But I do export the files in 1080p. So whenever I import a file into here, it's way zoomed in at the 100%. So my starting point is usually to set the scale to 50%, as is tradition. Anyhow, let's go ahead and take a peek. Let's see, I'm pulling out Heavy Brown by Game Color. Not really sure where it came from, but I have it in my collection. It looked nice. And I think this is a mid color for the whole dealio for the wood. I don't know if I did another highlight sequence. I bet I did. Yeah, it looks like there's another clip. So just like that last one, I think I want to get at least showing the color on the screen as part of the part of this clip. And then this comes in, I start highlighting. All right. So let's snag, see what 5 seconds puts us. So 5 seconds is going to go to 18 minutes and 2 seconds. Jump it forward. I still haven't pulled out that paint. I guess I did pull out the paint. So oops, I don't want to do that. Why did I do that? 960. Let's reset that. All right. So I'm pulling that paint out in the first 2 seconds and then taking it immediately off frame. So let's find the frame when my fingers are gone, clip it out, hit play. Because we got all this extra space here I want to fill in, right? So let's get rid of, trim that down. It's like what? I don't know, half a second. No, that my sense of scale is way off. That's 2 full seconds of dead air. or dead video. So by trimming that out now, I'm going to pull out the paint. It's going to leave. My hand comes right back in and flips the, yeah, much better. Boom, boom. And I see more dead air, more dead space. So find the first frame where the shadows are all gone. And zip that forward. And find the first frame where this comes onto it. To the shot. Dip that, duck that. And now it's significantly sped up, but it's really showing the same thing. I've just trimmed out all the frames. I'm not doing something. All right. Maybe the thinning and mixing's a little self-indulgent, so go ahead and scrub all that out. Razor blade it out, grab this, select, delete. Because how long is this? 17 minutes 57 seconds to 18:08. That's what, 11 seconds spent messing with that. I'm okay with it though. Okay, let's grab these clips that are good to go and pop them to the end of this sequence. Now, I kind of like this like high speed thing I'm doing. It shows the whole shebang. I'm gonna do it again. Each of the segments kind of has its own theme, right? Like, let me show you what I mean. So for instance, this first segment is doing like a three-fer. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3 colors. They're all getting worked on simultaneously. It's the same technique, but it's 3 different colors and 3 textures, 3 examples and forms of the same texture. And then it shows the colors. And since I'm using the same color on all 3 of them, then it's going to go from this cut right back to any second now. Should cut back to the 3 shot. Boom, boom, boom. There they are. Right? So it's working on the same. The next segment is instead, there's 2 colors and I'm working on them at the same time, but I want to make it a little more interesting. So I do some cuts with it, or I guess cuts isn't the word, some transitions on it. Right, so it should move into the frame, keep going, and split it in 2, and then is it this one? It might be the next one that has the fun transition. Computer struggles sometimes with this. No, that was a jump cut. We go to the next one. You see there's a theme of the split this whole time through this second segment, right? So each one of the little bits has their own thing. Man, it's just like my computer is not happy with this preview. Let's try again. This one should like shift and move. There we go. And it's still maintaining the same shot, but there's something creative done with it. Yeah. All right. Next up on the hair, I started playing with the zoom cuts. Whoa, having fun with it. It's gonna move in and just show, zooms in, follows the brush. Because I'm not working on multiple things. I'm actually working on different examples of hair and fur in the same project. But for the scope of the video, it was too much to show it all. I think I'm slowly going to release all the extra footage as some shorts. Anyhow, we'll move on to the next section. We're still working on the wood. It's much the same. Some static cuts. one subject, one color, 2 examples of the texture on the model, right? So it's kind of got that same feel to it. What do we have here? Let's scrub through this.
Salute the sun.
Oh, somebody texted me. Oh, I'll tell you who it is. It's Duolingo. And it's Duolingo telling me that I'm going to lose a streak freeze if I don't practice for the day. So I think I'm actually going to take a brief break and play my Duolingo and refresh my drink, maybe grab a snack, and I will be right back. So how do we do this? I put on the BRB. Alright, folks. Back again. Let's go ahead and get rid of this thing and keep on keeping on. Right. So if I recall correctly, I was snagging this here second layer bit of painting up the wood, right? So let's find where that clip ends and transitions to the woodwork on the cane. I think we can clip it right here. And just like the last one, I think the theme of this one is the thing of this here texture sequence is to show these individual clips in their entirety, kind of. Let's see what 1000% looks like. 20 seconds? I like it. %, speed. Might be a little much. No, I think it's important to show all of it. Alright, 1000% speed it is. Keeping that in. Slapping over here. See that there's like a little bit of metal hanging off for Edna. Ends up getting snipped off. Full 5 seconds of showing this thing off. What am I looking at right here? 17 minutes on the dot. 17 minutes on the dot. So it's like a little over a minute and a half already. Pushing it a bit, but I think it's important to show it. Plus it'll give me more time to talk on the voiceover. Alrighty, so we're gonna look at, I don't know, 7 seconds of showcase. Let's see. Watching this right here. So 5 seconds, I bring in Edna, show her to the camera. I think 8 seconds is where it's at. That's where it's gonna stick. 9 seconds, maybe? When does this actually start? Let's call it 8:14. 8 seconds in, yep, there we go. 8 seconds of showcase, and then just like the rest, we're gonna speed this up. Speed duration. It's 4 minutes long, so we're gonna call it 1000%. 1050%. No, 1100. Still not fast enough. 1200. Still not fast enough. We'll call it 1500. That's too fast. Alright, we found the point. 1400 is a little too fast, so we're going to call it 1375. That's almost just right. A little faster. A little faster. A little faster. Bam. 1380%. Puts us at a nice 20-second clip. Of getting her ready. Painting it up. Putting little stripes on the cane, showing that, yeah, I think it's really important to show this speeded up because this texture is the application of little lines, right? So I want to show how tedious it is. Now I'll talk about that in the end of it. Ooh, I just realized there's a bit I need to scrub off the end. Right? One few seconds of looking at the model. 4 seconds. So I usually like to do 5 minutes of showcase, or 5 seconds of showcase. So we'll do that. Click this here. Alright, repeat that speed up. Go clip, speed duration. And let's see what 1355. Yeah, there we go. Wow, 20 seconds of painting, 5 seconds of showing it off. We're looking at a clip duration of from 12 minutes and 19 seconds to 17 minutes. No, that's wrong. I did the wrong one again. Same thing twice. 15 minutes 22 seconds to 17 minutes 33 seconds. That's going to put me at 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Can I manage to do the last segment in 40 seconds? I think I can. All right, so this is clip 22627. So let's see if there's any more clips here after 22627 that are relevant. I gotta mute that because it's copyrighted stuff. So 627 is the clip we're working on right now, and that shows the highest highlight. It does indeed show the highest highlight. Next clip is working with black, so that goes into the next texture, and this one is unimportant, or not unimportant. My English is failing me. This is the last clip to show the last 2 sections. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 textures. That's 4 out of 5 edited up. Well, almost 4 out of 5. This project is heading towards completion. It's been taking a while because well, I've got school projects to work on as well. For those of you who don't know, I am a collegiate student. I am working on my Bachelor of Fine Arts. I'll be graduating from San Francisco State University in 2 semesters if I can stay on track. And I'm hoping to pursue this this here YouTube thing full time if I can. If I can ever get to that point, it'd be nice to do my hobby for a living. So, digressing. Let's get back to work. I think we could do a little bit more work here. Get this done. All right, so 50% there. I think what I need to show is paint coming out, right? Let's just take a peek. Let's take a peek at what this has to offer. All right, so I'm bringing out my dark sand once again. It's kind of been like a mother highlight tone through this whole project. As usual, I'm putting it on the palette. Don't like the flow. Paint out. Probably thin it a bit. Yep, there's the water. And then I'm gonna mix it together. Make a thin bit first, and then mix 2 colors together. It's weird that they're not mixed together yet. Wonder why I did that in 2 steps. Oh well. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time, so like, whatever. Anyhow, that is a lot of paint mixing. Let's just gonna find the point. Okay, there we go. That's the point that I'm bringing the object onto camera. So, clip this. Let's zoom in and see what I'm working with here. Alright, I'm mixing it in the first 5 seconds, it looks like. So, 24. I think 5 seconds is enough. Boom. Does 5 seconds show the paint? There's the paint. Shaking it. Yep. Let's trim it right here. Sorry I'm scratching my nose so much. My face is itching like mad. Maybe all that wind in San Francisco yesterday stirred some stuff up. I have been sneezing. I think I'll skip this whole self-indulgent bit about mixing it up. Let's get a 5 second clip. Let's get a 5 second clip. So we're gonna go a jump cut to this. And let's see where 5 seconds puts us. Yeah, 5 seconds has it nicely mixed. Or at least showing that it's mixing, right? So we're gonna cut that. Got 10 seconds of our 40 seconds remaining there, so I can do 15 seconds committed to each section. Let's get rid of that. Alright, what can we do with 15 seconds? Alright, so we'll do 5 seconds to show the thing. How about 10 seconds of painting the thing? Scrub off this empty space. Working on this for a while, it looks like. Let's cut it right there. How long is this clip? How long was I painting that? Speed duration 2.5 minutes to apply that layer. So we're gonna do it 1200, 1500x. Ooh, that's getting close. $1,558x. Reduces that to a 10-second clip. Let's see, does 5 seconds put us showing Edna? It does not. Alright, let's grab that. I'm watching for when the paintbrush comes back on. There we go. So that means it's like what, 3 seconds of air I can get rid of. I think it's important to show that it's a 20-0 brush. And then we're going to grab Edna and bring her up to the camera. however long that is, I think that's good. If it runs a few seconds over, it's fine. It's actually a little uncharacteristic of me to be so cognizant of the time limit, the time of the full length of the video anyways. So something I will probably adhere to going forward is trying to put out content that, like, I'm trying to make a statement, right? I'm releasing a thing, I'm painting a thing, I'm talking about it, but I also want to do so with audience retention in mind. Like, I know in like my first experimental video on YouTube, I kind of said that this was for me and not for an audience, but now that the channel has grown and like there are a few people who watch Country Fried Minis, right? So like I need to be making content for y'all. And that's always in the back of my mind. Whatever I'm working on, whatever I'm painting on, it's got to be digestible material and interesting. And I've made a few guesses here and there, right, that have been totally wrong. But that's fine because they exist and they're there. All right, back on the task at hand. We're going to take 5 seconds of kind of showcase and slow down. Actually, I think we can scrub off that and then go back 5 seconds. So 26, 5 seconds of finishing it up in real time. And then this here clip needs to be reduced to 10 seconds. So speed duration, it's 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Nuts. 2200, 2220, 2500x. Jesus. $29x speed. 29x speed to get that painted. Alright. So, in that regard, since I'm doing this like high speed footage stuff, I might do a fast forward overlay. Alright, let's get a final tally. We're at 15 minutes, 22 seconds, 29 frames to 18 minutes, 27 seconds. So I went 3 minutes and what? 5 seconds over? Not too bad. Dead on. Bye-bye. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you, pull into my assets pages, folders I mean. And I have this nice VHS fast forward green screen overlay. So I'm gonna dump that thing in here. I'm gonna make sure that the link selection is deselected and I can get rid of that audio. All right, let's put this in here. Now, what I want to do is drop in a key. Let's do a color key. Effect controls. We're going to find our color key. We're going to grab the key color right here. That's pretty bad. Let's color tolerance. Maybe color key isn't the best one. Let's try the ultra key. See how it works. Toss in the ultra key. Key color here. Ooh, instantly so much cleaner, so much nicer. Looks good, just one click and it works. Alright. Now, what we need to do is zoom in enough to where we can see these file names, right? And it looks like the first clip that's sped up is right here at 706%. So, I'm going to pull this overlay over top. And going to zip to the end of that, right? So, because this V3 is selected, I can use the arrow keys up and down right here to jump to the forward and beginning of that clip. So let's go ahead and razor blade this, snap, and then we're going to zoom back in. See that this clip here doesn't have any fast forward, but this one does at 775%. So I'm going to slide this over, click it in place, pop to the end of that clip, razor blade it off. And what this is doing is ensuring that there's a continuity of this like time count right here in the corner. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. We got this time count in the corner. So it's fast forwarding, it's fast forwarding, it's fast forwarding, and then it's playing. And then it's fast forwarding, and we have this continuity of the second count. So from here, let's, can I not move this thing here? Why can't I? There we go. Gonna look for the next section of sped up footage. It looks like it starts right here. So we can zoom out, we can slide this over, click it in place, zip to the end, razor blade it down, done. There's nothing here, but this one's sped up. So again, click it in place, slide this over, done dealio, jump to the end, razor blade it off. A bunch of repetitive tasks like this in working with Premiere sometimes, but you know, it's fine. The work is fine. So no boost, no boost, no boost, no boost. And there's a 1500x. So slide that, put it in place, click that to the end of it, jump down, razor blade it down. Same deal, nothing here, right? Nothing there, nothing there. 2900. So if I recall correctly, that was the last one. We'll click this in place, we'll jump to the end and pop the razor blade. And that's the end of our little clip there. So I can, I guess, delete this. Normally I'd slide that onto the end to play with the continuity, but I don't think I'm going to need it later. And let's do a quick watch of this here. So we're zooming in on the thing. I might do some more of that. It's fun. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I definitely need to change some zoom on some of these shots to make them look all right. But there we go. We have the fast forward pop up. This whole section's in high speed as I'm applying the flat earth bass tone to the wood. It's a lot of filler time. I could be talking about stuff, so I'll script it up and have something nice. So no fast forward. Edna comes in, we're fast forward, we're base coating again. I see. Is this where I nip off the thing? Might not be. It's the next stage, yeah. Okay, no fast forward. Cutting the next scene. Pulling out the heavy brown. I think that came out of a Vallejo Nomads paint starter set for infinity. Jump right back into the scene, fast forwards. I love that I'm showing this in its entirety because it's so tedious. But man, it looks good when you go about it this way. You can really see at arm's length. So no fast forward. This was like the 8-second bit. I'm looking at Edna, and we'll cut back and fast forward. Continuity, I like it. I'm pleased with it. Putting a little wood texture on, and it should jump into, maybe I should get rid of those Steam notifications while I'm on here. Whatever. Fast forward, wears off. We put Edna away. Cut to the next segment. Got the dark sand. Mix it up. I'll probably do a zoom in on that. That'd be fun. We bring this thing back out. We show it off. We should jump to fast forward. Yep. Continuity of the number. I like it. And this was what, 10 seconds? Show it off in this finalized form. Show that I'm using a 20-0 liner to do this tiny work. Pull in Edna. Should pop right back to fast forward. There it is. Bow. Come out nice. Come out very nice. Let's turn back on my webcam. Okay, so that's only took me what? Let's see. If I pull up the YouTube stream, I guess I could have checked on OBS, right? I guess this doesn't show it either. That is an hour and 20 minutes. Hour and 20 minutes got me through 3 minutes of footage. It really kind of brings into perspective what it takes to edit these things down. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4 segments basically done. I needed to do some camera zoom stuff. Alright, so I got this segment here where I'm dropping the water. I think we could do a bit of a zoom effect. Not much. Put it to right there. What sounds right? 15% zooms in. Yep. And then this needs to zoom in and just like keep the zoom going. So start with the 15% zoom, and I'll end it right here with another 20. It's a little longer, maybe 25. It's like double the length. And then make sure it's focused on that in the center. Let's see what that looks like now. Oh, that's a little much. No. It looks great, and it keeps zooming in. I think the speed was a little lost there. I'm gonna maintain that speed on through. Yeah. Okay, looking good. Pop in a fast forward. Zip. There we go. Don't need any zoom action there. There's that one. There's this fast forward section. Save this bad boy. What am I looking at here? Preview's not updating. Hello, preview. How long is that? Just 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Awful lot of time spent on I could get away with scrubbing half of that out. Alright, in that case I need to zoom out enough to get all of these clips. Slide and click them. Heavy brown. This one needs another zoom. I want to be in on that clip from the beginning, right? Oh, okay. We're doing another one of those track the thing. So 75 position, and then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more frames, and we're going another 20%, 25% in. We're tracking that bottle. We're going another 5 frames. 5 should be a hundy at this point, right? No. 125. Slow it down a bit. 135 zoom. Keeping it slowed down. 140. You know, this whole keyframes thing is actually pretty poignant. So back on the topic of being a collegiate student. This last semester I took a video art class for my degree. This time around, I find myself taking, basically, I'm in the same class again with the same professor, but it is called Art 685, Projects in the Teaching of Visual Art. So this time around, I'm actually, I'm a instructional assistant, I think is the best way to put it. And I also have the responsibility of teaching a bit to the students. So it's not quite a full lesson plan, right? But it is, I guess it is kind of a lesson plan. So my last bit I did was for keyframes, and if you'll bear with me a second, I had this fun video. How do I get to my channel? There we go. My channel, community posts. So I did this like live demo type deal on my personal YouTube page that I thought was a lot of fun. I don't think it's actually picking up the audio, but digressing, these little bits of text coming in, right? That it was an experiment with keyframes to teach students how to use the keyframes. So it comes in, it moves. It's the whole same thing I'm doing right now. Same thing I'm doing right here with this, like, I'm zooming in, I'm following this one thing, but I'm doing it 5 frames at a time so that I can create this tracking motion. And well, you know, keyframes are really important to all kinds of stuff. They can be used with any of the effects here in Premiere. Just click on the little stopwatch, click on your keyframe, add it to where you want to go. Lovely, lovely stuff. Excuse me. I burped up my coffee. Let me call this 162.5. So what I see in my mind's eye right here is I'm zooming in on this paint bottle. I'm staying on it very slowly. Like we're slowing down the zoom at this point. Right? 2.5% at a time. So we get here, we zoom in on it, we got this steady rate, then we slow down. And then when the paint finally comes out of the tip, I'm gonna fucking, excuse my language, I'm gonna zoom in on it real quick. I'm thinking it'll be, call this 171. Still slowing down even more. Call this 172. Let's call this 735. 1100. I'm gonna maintain the same. 735. 1100. Oh, that's a lot of. Oh, 735. 735. I screwed that up. 735. 1100. Now the camera's slowing down. It's keeping it more of a static shot. This is 173. 735. 1100. It's just a pure zoom at this point, right? And now we're going to go all the way in, 200%. I'm going to go 225, big zoom. Call this 250. And this might look like crap, but you know what? I'm having fun with it. I'm experimenting, having a fun time. That's what this whole dang thing's about. What was the last one? 275? We're going 300%. Oh, image fidelity is dropping. I love it. Oopsie. Dang it, I keep clicking the same thing because I am dumb. I'm going to drop this down to 200. It's going to zoom out. Follow this boy. Nope. Select these. 200. 100. Come on, let me move the thing. There we go. Boop 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 beep boop beep boop boop boop. 1 2 3 4 5. That was 2 hundo, 3 hundo, 2 hundo, 1 hundo. Call this back to starting position. 960, 540. Let's see what that looks like. All that work there might be a waste of time, but whoop, it zooms in. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It did a weird thing right there. Right there. It's got a weird... It's doing a strange thing. I've seen this happen before. 732, 772, 735, 732. Should probably call this 735. That might fix the issue. Zoop, it zooms in. It is just jumping all over the place. Where was that problem? I think maybe setting all these to 1100 all the way down might even it out. Oops, shit. Big jump. Big jump. Call that 1,000. Even it out. See how better that looks. Zip. Yeah. Let's see. With those 5 frames. With those 5 frames. And move those. An additional 5 frames. That might look a little better. Okay, so all that finagling, we got this effect. It's gonna zoom in, watch the paint, double zooms in, and then slowly pulls back out. It still needs to go a little slower, I think. 5 frames. Five frames. Okay. This gets moved to the end of it. Let's see how that looks. Awful lot of work for 5 seconds of video. That's fine though. It looks good. Fun. Just a little visual interest as we're watching the clip happen. Anyhow, I think, how long have I been at this? Where do I look to see that? It's been yeah, hour and a half, 90 minutes. Let's take a brief break. Let's run 30 minutes of this new fabulous game. Okay, saving that there. Bear with me, folks. Let's go ahead and pop in the BRB while I save my progress, close out of that, and pop open some fun stuff. All right. Okay. Capture that. Get rid of the BRB. The VLC playlist and transition it in. Okay, so this is a fabulous game that my friend turned me on to on Steam called Halls of Torment. It kind of touches on the nostalgia of Diablo, but also like the survival aspect of Vampire Survivors. It's very similar to Vampire Survivors. Let's go ahead and I'm going to check my audio settings here. I hope it sounds all right. I can't tell. I cannot tell. I think I need to grab this audio. And then transition. Okay, that seems right. All right, so this is a neat game. I'm just gonna take a little brief break here. I think let's do that. Let's do that, and everything looks good. Sound effects might be a little high. Let's bring them down. Let's bring it all down. Cool. Let's go into the Halls of Torment here. So I highly recommend picking up this game. It's real fun. Right now it's in an alpha mode, right? So it's, excuse me, it's a demo, but it definitely touches on that whole like Diablo feel. In fact, if anything, playing this has made me want to play back through the original Diablo, which I never did. I played a lot of Diablo 2. I downloaded Diablo 1 at some point, and I just didn't get into it. I didn't have the urge to play it. I was playing something else at the time, and opted to not run it, right? So I think it might be worth visiting at some point. But it definitely, this definitely has that vibe, right? Like just the feel of the sprites here. It also reminds me of I guess kind of obscure game called Dink Smallwood. That was definitely got that like low detail sprite look to it. But anyhow, digressing, I guess the point of this here game is that we're trying to survive for 30 minutes. Actually, let me get my webcam out of the way so we can see what's going on. I think maybe up here. How's that look? That looks alright to me. That way we can see the stuff in the corner. Yeah, so I'm collecting gold. It's telling me how many enemies I've killed. And it's telling me how much time I have left. So the end goal is just to survive for 30 minutes. And it's really tough game. Really absolutely brutal game at first. So at this point I've played it several times, and I've got all these items which are available to me at the start, and I've had to really grind to get those. So you're definitely not beating it without a few of those bonuses, right? And I really like the Exterminator character, but the first one that really appealed to me was this here Ranger Archer. I can't remember what it's called. Does it tell me? Doesn't tell me the name of it now. But this character seems to work well by doing high crit chance. So I'm gonna seek to stack on that crit chance. But we'll see. I keep watching for it. I don't see it here. Let's put on defense. See if we can get this build all the way to the end. Alright, there's our first boss. So the bosses that appear are just like big versions of the enemies you face. With exception of one that'll show up later, but it is pretty neat. I really look forward to seeing this game in its full release, and I absolutely intend on picking it up as soon as it comes out. But, you know, for what it's worth, this is available now in the, I think it's called an alpha version right now. Maybe a pre-release version. I can't recall. But it's worth picking up, and it's free. It don't cost nothing right now, so I highly suggest hopping on over to Steam and picking up Halls of Torment if you're interested in giving it a go. But one of the strategies I've seen work really well in playing this is not really worrying about grinding levels so much at the beginning, but going and grabbing that ability in the bottom right corner, and then this extra item in the upper left corner. Let's see if it's worth the dang. I think we got to go with the copper ring. Now, I think this copper ring is a new item, so I'll show off this mechanic here. After playing the second level, I unlocked this character, this NPC. It's like the well keeper or something, and you can see there's a well, the indicator. So I think what I can do, or the way it works, is I can go down there and drop an item, and I believe this copper ring is an item I have not yet sent to the well. So if I go down there and give up the item for the run and drop it in the well, I'll have it available for the next run. And I don't think it's something that's really going to affect this run at all. It's just extra critical bonus damage, which I'm not too worried about. Let's go with speed. I found the archer is really good if you focus on attack speed and critical chance. Instead of worrying about like the base damage, you just want to throw as many hits as you can and have them a high chance of critical hits. And with the way the arrows pierce through the enemies, oh, it's so very nice. Like this, yeah, 15 attack speed, 15% attack speed, 15% damage, 10% damage, whatever it was. Looks good to me. Now, you can see I'm leaving behind a lot of experience on the ground, yeah? But I'm not worried about that. I'm actually chasing after barrels, because eventually this item shows up that draws in all the experience that are left on the map. And this is our second boss. This is like a big imp chieftain. But the way I've got the fire damage stacked, he stands no chance. New item. We're going to go with dang, that's a hard choice. I'm going to go with this ruby circlet. And I think this ruby circlet is going to be the better item to send through the well. So let's head up there and show you what that is. Come up to the well, toss this thing, retrieve item. And that, I believe, is the only one for the level. You can only do it once. Yeah. And what that'll do is when I'm done with this run, whether or not I win or die, whatever happens, it'll be available if I spend a little bit of gold on it. So, let's see. Crit chance. Alright, like I said, let's keep moving, looking for barrels to destroy. The light is a real good indicator of where they're going to be. Get some gold. Get some more gold. I'm just going to keep stringing barrels until I find that item to show y'all. And if any of you have played Vampire Survivors, it's very similar to, there's an item in that will draw in all the experience off the level. So not worried about picking up experience. I mean, we'll get some right in the way, but it's more about looking for barrels while killing enemies. Now, these shield bearer guys here are a bit of a pain for the archer because the arrows pierce, but when they hit the shields, there's a block chance and it stops the piercing shot in its tracks. But no matter, my attack speed is high enough, I don't give a dang. This is definitely wildly different as compared to the first run. Let's see, how's this? Let me see how this is looking. Is this running all right? I had a little trouble earlier doing like a test for the stream. It just wasn't going great. It looks like it's running fine now. I had to really reduce the bit rate because my internet is kind of poo-poo garbage here. It's I have Comcast and they don't have really great offering for what you pay for it here. And my building has signed a contract with them where they're my only option, the only ISP I can access. It's such a shame because there's such better companies around, smaller companies that provide better service, but my upload speed is capped at, they claim it's 15 megabits per second, but I've never seen it go over 10. Ooh, critical hit chance. That's what we want. Buy barrels. Kill the barrels. Kill the barrels. It's remarkable that I haven't found one of those items yet that attract in all the... There it is. So this hand right here is going to bring in all the XP off the level. So all that time I spent not picking up the crystals or whatever, it's fine because here it is. I'm getting all of it that was left behind. So just stacking level ups. More critical hit chance. More defense. More regeneration. So good. More regeneration. In fact, what are we looking at right now? I've got a 31% chance of critical hit. Yeah, it's great. Let's get more attack speed. I don't know if any of y'all played Diablo 2, but I played an assassin when the expansion got released, and my build was all attack speed, and it was awesome. It didn't do great PvP because I was a bit of a glass cannon, but man, when I'm fighting hordes and just swinging as fast as possible, it was really good. Really yummy. Okay, that boss didn't stand a chance. So, I'm going to go with these orbs. I'm going to orbit and hit enemies as they get close. It's pretty wild once you like stack up your weapons to see how your ability to stop enemies just like snowballs out of control. Again, if you've played Vampire Survivors, it's very similar to that. Though that one you don't get to control where you're shooting. In this one, I have full control over the aim. New level. Let's go with attack speed. Alright, we've shifted into a new type of enemy. It's, part of this game is definitely all about learning the movement patterns of these enemies. These here like devil doggy things do this like inward spiral movement. So once you you see the pattern, you can keep making clearings for yourself. And then the slimes kind of like they move where you were a few seconds ago. So, or like a second. Whenever they start their movement, they move to where you were. So like you can play with that and get around them. I'm really excited to see how this game turns out on the full release. It says it's this quarter, so fingers crossed for sometime soon, because it's really, really good, really fun. I think at this point I'm back to the same old strategy of killing enemies, not worried about picking up the gems, worried about moving towards boxes, barrels, item drop locations. Maybe I get another one of those grippy hands that'll bring it in. Get all that experience. Just staying alive, you know? Ooh, new boss. Now, this one's tricky because he's got these ads that come in. There they are. They're quick, so it do you good to be able to put that high damage out and take them out. Which is why I go for the crit chance with this character. But man, the fire trail is a little OP. I bet it gets nerfed in the full release. There's no way they leave that in. Let's see what I end up with here. New item. Summons a rat every 30 seconds. I've never seen this. Rat targets random enemy attacks at once, applying weaken debuff for 15 seconds. I like that a lot. I think we're taking that and we're replacing this one. Actually, let's remove that and put this back on. That way my arrows remain fire damage. Alright, we have hit the halfway point. 14 minutes. 14 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this run. This is actually kind of like a break spot in this level. Things kind of relax a bit for a second, and then they're going to get really gnarly. I'm waiting for the projectile slinging guys to come back. There's one. Any second now. There they are. These guys, the first time you play through this level, can really get you good. But it's wild how the archer can just like prioritize them. Just shoot through the enemies at them till you hit them. And since my attack speed is so high, I'm not even all that worried about the shield guys blocking the shots. Oof. More attack speed. So at this point, when there's so many enemies on screen, the strategy kind of becomes like I'm looking for a gap between swarms, right? And looking for an opening, and like a gap doesn't necessarily mean just no enemies. It just means like I see a spot where there's less enemies and I know I can shoot my way through it. That kind of sets the tone for the remainder of the level. But you know, with the archer having ranged attack, I'm able to keep killing enemies. Eventually, I should come across another one of those grabby handy things and get all this experience I'm leaving everywhere. Oop, I was hoping to find one before this boss, but here he is. And same deal, I'm just, you know, looking for gaps in the enemies, alternating between that and trying to thin out the major herd. And then I'm also looking for openings to shoot the boss when I can. Getting kind of insane. More barrels. It's wild, like trying to focus on what's going on here. I kind of just defocus my eyes a bit, if that makes any sense. Like a lot of the time I'm looking at this in like with my peripheral vision, so it's quicker to register what's going on. More attack speed. What is my attack speed at? Does it show it? Attack speed 3 shots per second. Yeah, it's big. Oop, there we go. All right. More critical hit chance. More damage on the lightning. More orbit speed. More base defense. More charge speed on the lightning. More lightning strikes. More lightning strikes. Like that. I've lost 30% of the damage on the lightning, but it's fine because I'm firing 3 more every time. More critical hit chance. Man, we're starting to stack some stuff now. +1 piercing. Fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen that upgrade. A little extra health wouldn't hurt. More damage on the orbs. Very nice. Very nice. I think with 10 minutes left in this run, we stand a pretty good chance of getting to the end. Normally, like my first decent run, this is where I die. The little dogs move in pretty fast. Like predicting those movement patterns plus dodging the jellies is a bit of a pain, but it's doable. Just looking for openings. And like at this point, I know I can take out the little orange doggy things, right? So sometimes, even if it's a gigantic mob of them, just shooting your way right through it is the way. Instead of trying to tackle all the jellies. It's kind of still the same thing, like, right? So I'm dodging enemies. I'm looking for barrels. I'm hoping to get looking for health potions. Looking for the thing that sucks in all the experience. All that good stuff. Looks like there's a... Alright, this lady, here we go. We're fighting the Lich. So she's going to summon these purple skelly boys, and they all shoot projectiles. So the game is kind of shifted to prioritizing those every time they show up, and a lot of trying to put damage on the Lich as fast as possible. It's rough going at this point. 7 minutes left in the run. It's kind of at a point where, like, it could go bad very quickly. Now that's a good get. Okay, attack speed. Attack speed. Crit chance. Base defense. More lightning damage. Alright, now at this point, I'm really going to try and focus down the Lich. Get rid of her. There we go. Okay. This bought me some breathing room. Take on the color of confidence. And stay alive. Almost 75% through the run. Okay, more firing speed. And I think the goal is now switched to, I need those health potions. I need as many of those as I can find as fast as possible. Because it's really going to get insane. If I remember correctly, there's not any more mini bosses, but like they're really going to ramp up the attrition of enemy numbers. And like those skeleton warriors with the armor have a lot more health, so like it looks like I'm just fighting skeletons, but they are interspersed in all that mess. Along with these guys shooting projectiles. So it's, you know, dodge. What is it? Dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge? What is it they say? If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball? Yes, I know that movie. Looking for weak spots. The fire trail's nice. It's doing work, but it's only protecting behind me, you know. So I've still got to make decisions about where I'm heading and where I'm focusing my arrows. And that's continually changing. And I desperately need some health potions. None there. 4 minutes left. Now we're gonna get some wicked jellies. Still unchanged, looking for health potions. Alright, 3 minutes left. Looks like we've got a little bit of a lull in these waves. Still looking for health potions. Critical hit chance. Stacking it up. Uh-oh, my game is chugging a little bit. One minute, 11 seconds left. Taking more hits than I'd like. Oh goodness. I don't think I'm making it home this time, boys. $93 health, 36 health. Yeah, I'm gonna die. 29 seconds. No way I'm making it. No. Well, 26 seconds left. That was Halls of Torment. If it looks like something that you'd like to pick up, it's over on Steam right now. Free demo. Highly recommend picking it up. You need you a 30-minute break from work. Fantastic game. Let's take a peek before I get back to stuff here. So now I should be able to talk to this man and buy that item I sent down. Right? Boom. There we go. And then I check the stash and it's all right here. So I can build up whatever setup I need going in. And go to the Shrine of Blessings and buy up some permanent bonuses. So, excuse me. If you can imagine, you start this game with none of these, right? So, like, I'm going in with 15% attack speed increase, damage increased by 40%, defense up by 2, right? There's a whole bunch going on. And I think we're going to go with the gold gain. Alrighty. Well, that was Halls of Torment. Going to quit game. Yes, sir. Quit now. And it's back to Premiere. Back to workflow. So close this and replay that. And close that. And transition it up. Let's put me back in the corner there. Resize. Transition. Pop back open textures with Edna. 11:45, almost midnight. This is, you know, normal hours for me. I know nobody's here right now, but I'm talking, expressing my thoughts. In case any of you find this in the future, it will be here. Let's see. Alright, so that puts us to the point of texture 1 is done. Texture 2 is done. Texture 3 is done. Texture 4 is done. One texture left. Make sure my sound's playing. Okay. I'm wondering if my music's a little loud for this. It's fine. Let's drop this down. Everything looks good over here. Okay, so gonna go back into Textures with Edna folder. Bring this on over. So to put it into perspective, we've worked from here on through to here. The remainder of the clips that are left are, I think 3 of these are for metal. So last texture's metal. And then the rest, 1, 2, 3, and then maybe this one. I bet this one is, yeah, it's the dirty down rust, which I think could be argued is part of the metal texture. I'll include it as that, which leaves this here moss effect, which I may or may not even include at all. I might, it's, you know, it's important to the paint job itself, but like this video isn't necessarily about the paint job itself. It's about these textures, right? I don't know. I could probably spend about a minute at the end talking about the finishing touches. Gluing stuff to bases. Doing the touch-ups. I'll probably include this whole bit about dotting the noses of the cats, right? I didn't really touch on the cats at all. I think they're all going to end up being fodder for shorts videos. I mean, I call it fodder, but it's not really, it's not so much fodder as much as like I've recorded all this footage, right? So I want to use that footage, which is kind of where the whole that last project came from, the skin texture, because I thought I was gonna talk about painting skin, but it's not happening. Let's see about making a new piece of texture text. So I need to do metal. It's texture 5 metal. And I think this chrome text effect immediately is good for that. But man, the shiny metal one's nice too. That might be better. I think that's the one. We'll go with the shiny metal and we'll say texture 5 metal. Alright, no background. Download, max resolution, PNG. Pop it in my downloads folder. Go to downloads. We're gonna Control X. We're gonna zip back to textures with Edna and we're gonna pop it in there. I now have 5 texture pieces. Or 5 texture words, whatever. So, back in Premiere, we need to grab the next piece of footage. So I'm gonna drag and drop this one. I'm gonna get rid of the audio because it's all copyrighted stuff in the background I don't need. Let's double check the next one is, yep, metal color. That is correct. It will get dropped in as well. Delete the extra, save the project. Check on the next one. I believe this is shading the metal, sure is. So we'll drag and drop that one, pop it in there, delete the audio. Lots of repetition, but repetition gets it done. Finally, we'll drop in this one, and it looks like it's the dirty down rust. Bam! We have these 4 clips with which to make a 3-minute segment talking about texture 5 metal. That might actually work fine. I don't know why I brought the black paint into the frame twice. I think it's because I hit the camera. You can see a bit of a shake happen here. So when I whipped it back, I hit the camera. Yeah, so I put it back in the frame again. But that's great because that means I'm bringing this onto frame 5 seconds into the clip, which might work just right with the whole texture thing. So let's line this up here. Let's drop in, let's copy the opacity and the Gaussian blur off of that. Go over here, apply those effects to the same thing. That way we have same deal. We're back looking at the texture wood thing. So the start of this clip should be lined up with what? I'm dumb. Wait a second. What's confused? I thought this lined up with something. I'm dumb? The opacity should line up with the start of that. This should be lining up with this opacity. Okay. Alright, yes, that's correct. So, back over here, looking at this. Let's shrink this down so we can see what we're working with. Jump back to the keyframe, and now I have this keyframe and I can line up the texture 5 metal dealio. If I recall correctly, This should be 5 seconds and 15 frames. And then it needs the same effects as the other texture things. So we're going to take the motion settings and the opacity. Can I screw something up? Let's zoom in on this one. Motion, opacity. Motion and opacity. How long is this one? What have I done wrong here? Something's off somewhere. Texture wood. Why is this texture wood twice? Am I just dumb? Texture hair, okay. Texture hair, texture wood. It looks different for some reason. It's linked on it. Oh yeah. Oh, something didn't save right. There we go. Okay. Alright. Anyhow, we're back to the metal. We go here, we paste it in. It should, having those settings on hand should make it just zip in. Texture 5 metal. It fades out. Background focuses. How long is this if it just runs? 57, too long. Okay. How about we look at what 5 seconds from here looks like? Yeah, it's good. Boom, chop that. A lot of content of nothing changing. Grab the dropper, pop it into frame. Puts a drop of water. Okay, grab it there. Grab the first frame, something comes into frame. Slide back here. And if this is longer than 5 seconds, we'll cap it at 5 seconds. There's that. Blow. Okay. Bring this boy into frame. See what 5 seconds gives us. 21. 5 seconds. Another 5 seconds. We get a 10-second clip. Alright. Let's make it a 15-second clip. I don't get a lot of painting done in 10 seconds. That's wild. Alright. Showing the thing, grabbing the black paint, slapping it on, little at a time, making sure I have nice thick coverage of that black. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's do 5 seconds of this one. So 50 puts us to there. Yep. pop that over. Another 5 seconds. Do this one for 10 seconds, I think. Okay, applying the black. I'm thinking this segment here is important because it shows being very careful not to spill any black paint. All right. Now we have 1857 to 1950. That's almost a full minute. A few seconds short. Showing that, getting that done. Let's see, what does 15 seconds put us? 28. Alright, 15 seconds does not have the paint out. I guess it does, okay. What about 10 seconds? I think 10 seconds did it. Let's see what that clip looks like. Might shorten it a little more. But bring the paint in frame, show the metal color, shakes it up, pulls the thing down, drop some paint on the palette. Yeah, perfect. Oh, I can't believe how well that worked. I think just 15 full seconds of looking at this thing. You know what? How long is this clip? Oh, it's 3 fucking minutes. Edit, redo, 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 redo. What does 25 seconds of working on this look like? Add another 5, so 30 seconds on that. 54. That does look nice. Can I get away with 25 seconds of it? No. I think it's important to show that the Vallejo metal color really covers in a single coat, so that works. Yeah, I think that looks good. We'll do a full minute on painting this. So give me time to talk about the Vallejo metal colors. Put these here. What are we looking at time-wise? 1857 to 2101. Oh, I just realized. Damn, I'm dumb. 1857. I can't take that long. How long is this? 1916 to 1951. It's like 30 seconds on it. I think I gotta cut 15 seconds off of that clip. And then also see what 31 looks like. I think this needs to be reduced to 15 seconds as well. See, I guess this really demonstrates where, like, it's hard to pick what you're putting in there, because you end up with all this footage, just hours of footage. At least, I don't know, 30% of the painting process is captured, and then you're cutting it down to 5 and 10 second bits, right? 1857, so that's 3 seconds short of 19. This is 2031, so that's a minute and a half. And that gives me another 90 seconds to talk about the ink wash and then the dirty down. And I'll have the metal stuff done. But all that said, it is midnight and I'm starting to feel really tired. So I think I'm going to call it right here for the night. It looks like this has been running for almost 3 hours. 20 minutes shy of 3 hours. I'm feeling tired. I think the whole thing has been fairly successful, to be honest. I think this is something I'm going to start doing on the regular. There's no reason not to stream my workflow. I think it'll help me stay cemented here and stay on task, and kind of help me think out the process. So if you happen to stumble on this video at some point while you're looking up for content, this is absolutely not the fun, entertaining stuff that we do on the channel normally. This is me sitting at my work desk. Here we'll probably discuss more of this. It's going to be the thought process. It's going to be talking about using Premiere. It's going to be talking about what goes into the video, what I'm thinking, how it's coming together. I'll look for fun little effects for my webcam. This posterized thing might not stick, but yeah. Check back soon. We should have the Edna video coming out. I may be able to set up a webcast of painting, though honestly it's unlikely because I'm all the way in the corner over there to work and the workstation's here, and so the computer over by my hobby desk is kind of, well, it's basically my last two old computers cobbled together into one machine. And it's great for storage. It's great for audio editing. It is not great for this. So perhaps at some point I can get a hobby hangout. But, you know, I don't think that's what Country Fried Minis is about. We're about painting silly stuff and doing stuff. But I think this here workflow stream will be somewhere to hang out in the future as we grow, as people start to find interest in the channel. Something to put content up with. So this is definitely not the same thing as the main video channel, but it is part of it, and this will be recorded for posterity. So going forward, if there are effects you want to learn in Premiere, if you want to know what it takes to get things edited, what it takes to put together a video for YouTube, I will be discussing that here and working on these projects in real time. I think tonight's progress really shows, let's see, let's say I spent 20 minutes trying to get this thing ready and then wasted a half hour on the video game and then 10 minutes, so let's take an hour off of it. We're looking at an hour and a half, 90 minutes, 100 minutes, almost 2 hours, and I have edited up, what, 4 minutes worth of footage with all the effects. So I hope it really brings things into perspective. And as always, I'm available for consultation. Just toss a comment down below. I'll read them. I try to read every comment and respond where I can. So hit me up. In the meantime, I want y'all to remember, stay happy while you're painting. Take it easy, y'all. That's going to be the end of the stream. Catch you around next time.